FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and if you're looking to score early this NFL season, you better be using FanDuel and the FanDuel app, because right now, brand new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is easy to use with a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and much, much more. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL and an official partner of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you have a FanDuel ticket, a winning FanDuel ticket, make sure you send it to us on Twitter or email us so we can showcase it on the show. Guys, I'm going to read you a tweet real quick. This from Hayden Grove a second ago, and then we're going to talk Amari Cooper. We need some more clarity from what we see in practice before we make this a discussion. But Hayden Grove tweeted that James Hudson said he's going to be practicing at right tackle today, which could mean DeJuan Jones could be switching out to left tackle with Jed Wills out. Now, I don't want to get into this because we have to see if it happens in practice. There's no point discussing this till we know if it's actually going to happen or not. But that could be a big change on the offensive line.
That is fascinating if it does.
Well, we talked about it on the show yesterday, because one of the questions yesterday was, what kind of juggling are you doing on that offensive line now to make up for the absence of Jed Wills?
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
well, we talked about it briefly, and it was really briefly dismissed because I hadn't heard this report. Maybe you did. I think G. Bush or someone brought up the fact that, because I had said, look, it seems like an easy fix would be DeJuan goes to left tackle, and you at least shore that position up. And somebody said that, well, Mary Kay had reported in the preseason that they had worked him at left tackle, and it was, quote, a disaster.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. He's comfortable at right tackle. I'm not messing with him.
Well, I do think they tried him at left tackle.
And it didn't go well.
Yeah, and again, go back to what we said all summer about DeJuan, and it was the maturity and all of that. Well, he's done a terrific job.
He's handled it well.
He's done a great job.
Why mess with it?
That's exactly
I'm not messing with it.
That's exactly
I'm leaving
it.
him
I don't know that you want to turn on the fire hose.
No.
Right
Especially
now on
if
him.
you've tried
but,
it. I was for it until I heard they tried it and it didn't look well. It didn't go well.
But that tells you, I mean, again, as a fourth-round rookie who there was a lot of questions around him, he still leaped James Hudson like that. So that tells you the faith that they have in James Hudson, which isn't a lot. So what else are you going to do?
No, it might be the
better of two terrible options.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think you're then weakening two positions.
That's what I said yesterday. I said when you do that,
that,
you could be weakening two positions.
Right.
It's really, they're in a tough spot. There's no other way to slice
All right, we'll discuss it more, obviously, if it happens.
By the way, we haven't mentioned it. I'm sure a lot of fans have already seen it. Carson Wentz to the Rams.
Yeah, that happened last night.
I saw it late last night.
All right, guys, here's a question I had for you guys, and I'm curious to see how you guys kind of came down to the conclusion whether or not you think this yes or think this no. But has Amari Cooper been a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL this season, based on the 10 weeks or 9 games, whatever number you want to use, this season alone, based on circumstances, quarterback, production, who's been available and who's not? Has Amari Cooper been a top 10 receiver in the NFL this season? Yes
no. I mean, he's not far off, but no. I mean, I don't know how we make him a top 10 receiver based on what. I mean, if you look at just raw stats of yards per game, he's not up there. If you look at touchdowns, he's not up there. If you look at PFF grades, he's not in the top 10. I know you got to factor, you want to factor in that he's playing with worse quarterbacks than some of these other guys. Okay, but I mean, do I have to now analyze every time I'm making a list of top 10 wide receivers who their quarterback is? I mean, if Amari Cooper was playing with a healthy Deshaun Watson all year, would his numbers be as good as any of those guys? I mean, maybe not. Certainly not the top 2. But I could say, well, Jamar Chase would have better numbers if Joe Burrow wasn't hurt early in the season. Or Keenan Allen would have better numbers if Justin Herbert didn't have a broken finger. Or DJ Moore would have better numbers if he didn't also play on a team with a crappy quarterback situation. Amari Cooper's a really good player. He's never been a top 10 receiver, and he's not a top 10 receiver now. That's no insult. He's really good. He's in that next group of 10.
I think but he's really
not top 10.
Close.
He's much closer than he's been.
I think he's, top 12 maybe. One of the things that I point to when I would make this case is Jamar Chase barely has more receiving yards than he does. And there'd be no question is Jamar Chase a top 10.
Right.
Now, Jamar Chase is playing with much better wide receivers around him than Amari Cooper is. So that can both hurt him and help him.
Right.
But I don't see him as a top 10.
Amari, I think, is top 5 in yards per catch. He's had a couple big time plays. I meant to look this up. I did.
Okay, so there's a stat where he's top 10.
Yeah,
I actually didn't look
he's
at
like,
that.
He's
yards
like
per
top
catch.
5
He
yards
is,
per
he's
catch.
tied for 4th in the NFL in yards per catch with 17.6.
That's impressive.
So, and is that his career high? I wonder. It has to be.
Gotta be.
Because
I'll tell
he's
you,
had
give me 1 sec, Jason. I got you.
Because when you think of Amari Cooper, at least I don't think of like home run threat. You know what I
No.
mean? I don't think a guy who's like big play going to break off a 60-yard reception. I think of a guy who's just consistent. He's going to move the chains.
Right.
15, 12.
It is by
move the
far,
chains.
by the way, his
By
best.
far.
2.5 yards per average. or
I think it's
2.5 yards
interesting that
more.
you said that. He's not a home run threat. He doesn't have top end speed.
Right.
But what he does, outside of the lack of speed, he does so well. Guys that cover him talk about his precision route running and what a great route runner and tactician he is. So I think he might be a top 10 route runner, but if in the total scheme of things, what he does extremely well is if you need 10, I feel really comfortable on 3rd and long.
He's gonna get you 10.
That he's going to get it.
Yeah.
Even 15.
Yeah.
But you're right. If you're looking for, we need a home run here, he's definitely not that guy.
Right.
I mean, in the end, we're arguing minutia. I think most of us would agree he's between 11 and 15.
I absolutely
So does
do
it
agree.
matter if he's the 8th best wide receiver or the 12th
What's
this
funny
year? It
is
doesn't really matter.
in catches, I think he's like 40-something. I looked it up this morning.
Well, he only
He's-
has 35 catches.
I know.
Yeah.
But again, that's
a product of the quarterback
Absolutely.
situation,
That's
yeah.
indicative of the quarterback and
Right.
who's throwing the ball. To where, I hear what you're saying, Bull, about if Burrow was healthy, Chase's numbers would be better.
Yeah.
But it's far different when you're talking about the quarterback play that those guys have gotten and the quarterback play that Amari
Give
has
me an
gotten.
injured.
It is night
Give me
and
an
day.
injured Burrow over
Yeah.
P.J. Walker 1,000 days out of
Agreed.
1,000.
My point though is, do I have to analyze every single player
Right,
and
sure.
their advantages
but,
and disadvantages?
But it's miles difference in the quarterback play that.
Well, not between
Amari's
them and the
had.
Bears.
No, but Amari's gotten and what Jamar's gotten and what Keenan Allen's gotten and what some of these other guys that we're trying to lump them in with.
Right.
I mean, it's not even close how bad the quarterback plays. Now, hopefully that's turning. We saw in the second half last week against a really bad team. Hopefully that's starting to turn.
Bull, I think right now,
Yeah.
just my eye test, I don't think there's a quarterback in the league playing better than Joe Burrow.
No. No.
I mean,
Not
as
since
I was
he's gotten healthy.
I watched
Yeah.
him Sunday night, and all I could think of is, this guy, you can't stop this guy.
The last 2 weeks against the Niners and Bills, he's made one bad throw. The throw that Chase got hurt his back on. He underthrew that.
He did.
That deep throw.
That's
the only bad throw he's made in 2
But
weeks.
by and large,
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting better. He was already a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But to me, I've seen progression, and it's incredible. You talk about an Achilles or an ankle injury, and it was I was thinking, hoping maybe the rest of the league's figured him out. I was wildly wrong. I mean,
Well, you
it's
see his-
just the 1 or 2 steps that
Yeah.
he needs to make.
He uses his mobility now.
And
Now
it's just incredible. And what
And-
it strikes to me is
Yeah.
you don't have to be Lamar Jackson. You just have to be slippery enough and
Right.
slick enough. Tom Brady was very good at this, stepping up in the pocket, a
Yeah.
slide step here, moving there, knowing when to do it. He's playing, in my eyes, as well as he's played and better than anybody else in the league right
He's
now.
kind of like the Brady Montana to me because there's nothing. He's not physically imposing.
No.
He's not.
Well,
doing,
he's more athletic than those guys.
But he's not doing.
But he's not a great athlete.
And he's
an
not
elite
doing
athlete.
he's not making Mahomes wow plays
He's
and
not.
throws and everything, but he just wins.
His presence,
He just
too.
wins. He just makes big time
Damn.
throws and he wins. And we go back. We said a couple weeks ago, I'd take the Bengals to win the division. They're in last place right now.
I'll take them too.
Technically, they're in last place.
I know that everybody's favoring the Ravens. I still think it goes through
Well,
Cincinnati.
they play each other. So the
I know they do.
Thursday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fun watch.
Yeah.
But right now I think the division goes through Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He is playing as well as I've seen him play in his pro career.
Yeah.
And it's stunning to me the difference in a couple of weeks as he's gotten healthy.
Right.
How much better he is.
Well, you know what a big part of that is? When he was hurt, they had to play from shotgun the entire game because it was hard for him to take a snap under center and run back.
Yeah.
So they weren't under center at all. Wow. And when the other team that changed, now they're mixing it up.
Yeah.
Against San Francisco, he was under center a lot. Last week against Buffalo, it was a little more of a mix. But Anyway, this division is just, it's unbelievable.
Everybody's in the playoffs.
Unbelievable.
That's never happened, has it?
No, it's only been possible since 2020.
Oh, okay.
Because they only that's when they expanded to the 7th playoff team.
We asked Monday, has the division ever finished with every team with a winning record? And I think the answer was no, right? Last year, the NFC East was 500.
500.
Washington was
finished
8-1.
yeah.
But no division has ever finished with all 4 teams
I
over
think that's going to
500.
happen this year.
It sure looks like it's
Yeah,
going to. And the reason it hasn't happened is because you're playing each other so much.
Right. You would typically cannibalize each other. And
You usually do.
I don't know if you guys mentioned the stat yesterday. I mentioned it on Monday, but you weren't here, Jay. The AFC North in non-divisional games are 17-6.
Wow.
The next best record is the NFC East at 14-11. No other division is more than a game over 500.
To
and
me,
they're 17-6, and 3 of those losses are the Steelers.
that is the stat that cements this argument that we're in the
there's-
toughest division.
Yeah, there is no argument really.
My goodness,
Yeah.
17-6.
17-6.
Now, I think it will regress back to a norm.
Yeah,
I
well-
don't think they're going to continue at that rate.
Well, this week you got who's Pittsburgh playing?
I'm not sure.
Pittsburgh plays Green Bay.
Pittsburgh plays Green
so
Bay, and the
they're out of the
Bengals
division.
play Houston. That should be an interesting game.
Okay.
But
I don't think it will be interesting, but I think the Bengals will rout Houston.
Well, Houston's defense is terrible, but obviously C.J. Stroud, my God.
Guy's amazing.
This may be,
Guy is
Baker,
amazing.
I'll give him his credit, had one of the better rookie seasons we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But C.J. Stroud may, if he stays healthy, may end up having the best rookie season we've ever seen from a quarterback.
I don't know
or
that
one of the best.
If he's had a coming of age moment, it was
Yeah.
that last drive, 46
I mean, that
seconds.
was-
They got to go.
yeah.
He made precision throws. I think they only needed 3 or 4 plays to get there.
Well, they got some penalties.
But they did get a penalty.
Yeah.
Precision throws to throw into the end zone. It was just like, who am I watching here? There's no way this guy's a rookie.
And you've seen him raise the talent of the guys. Like Nico Collins has been just a guy in the NFL.
Not now.
Nico Collins having a good season. He's
having a
10th in the
great
league in
season.
receiving.
Yeah, it's
And
fun to watch.
Yeah.
For me, being an Ohio State fan,
Yeah.
and seeing one quarterback after another, going back 20 years,
Yeah.
having Heisman candidate seasons,
40 years.
and then you go into the NFL and you just are awful.
And think about this. They got no defense, and they got no running game.
And they're doing it all on his
It's all
arm.
on his shoulder.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. Okay.